there's a controversy in objectivism about whether the philosophy that Ayn Rand created is a closed system or an open system. Now, what does this mean? A closed system would be that objectivism is the name for only the philosophic writings of Ayn Rand, and it's nothing else. That's all objectivism is. And open objectivism is a growing and living philosophy that is sustained by a school of philosophers who understand the essential ideas of objectivism and develop more philosophical ideas and refinements and new thought related to the philosophy on the basis of the essential ideas of objectivism, and that as long as a new work is essentially logically connected to the essential philosophical ideas of Ayn Rand, that is objectivism. So the issue is, should objectivism be open or closed? A closed philosophy is just a dead name for someone's writings. We have a word for the philosophic thought of Ayn Rand. It's the philosophic thought of Ayn Rand. If Rand called her philosophy objectivism precisely because what she wanted to do was create a name for a philosophical approach. She had a philosophy with a name, and she wanted people to be able to learn it and understand it and apply it. And so that name, objectivism, stands for this body of philosophical ideas and essential philosophical ideas, and to understand them and employ them is to develop an independent view of their meaning and their basis. And each person needs to relate their understanding of the philosophy to the facts as they understand them and form their own integration of the ideas of the philosophy. And that means that as we go on in time, people who care about the philosophy and care about employing it in life and care about understanding it will have to form independent judgments about what is essential to the philosophy, what is logically connected to the philosophy, and where the philosophy needs to develop more. Those people, that group of people, will be a school of objectivists, and they will discuss ideas, develop them. There will be debates. Sometimes they won't agree, but that's how you learn, that's how you reach judgments, and in the end it comes down to every individual to reach a rational judgment based on their own knowledge of what they judge to be objectivism or not. This doesn't mean it's all subjective. There's a truth of the matter, but each person has to try and arrive at the truth as best they can on their own. That's why independence of mind, independence is a major virtue in objectivism, because you cannot get your knowledge directly from any other person. You have to form it yourself, and that's true of philosophy as well. So what we need to have is a growing and living philosophy that's relevant to the people who are alive, that's applied in their lives, where there's honest and open discussion of what is the content of the philosophy, what is logically necessary to it, what isn't logically necessary, how it might need to develop or might not. There has to be an open and clear discussion of all that so that people can actually understand objectivism instead of simply reciting the words of Ayn Rand. The danger of a closed vision of the philosophy is that to be an objectivist is just to be able to quote Ayn Rand. But that's not to understand the ideas, that's not to grasp them independently, and that's not to really think as an individual about and think in a first-hand way about what's necessary to this philosophy and what isn't. So for the philosophy to really be alive and to really be a body of thought and not dogma, it has to be an open system.